So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So there's been a lot of stuff going on, like the Halloween event rerun. We also had the update news, so I've not been able to talk about the new batch yet, so I thought I'd do it ahead of the Sugo at least. So yeah, we're at the One Piece movie collection Kizuna, which is going to be a Film C Kizuna. We're getting the Zephyr 6+. I'll talk about him in a different video. The actual Kizuna is against Kizaru. Didn't really even know that Kizaru was that prominent in the film since I haven't watched it, so that's pretty cool. No new unit though for Kizaru. The only free-to-play unit we're getting is the 6+ Zephyr, and we can get copies of him from the Power Rumble, of course. But we are getting a new Kizuna Legend Ain, very unexpected, and a new Kizuna Rare Recruit in Binz. So let's take a look, and Ain is not voiced. It's a shame that these new film legends aren't voiced, and it's even more nonsensical when the 6+s are actually getting voices, so not sure what the deal is here, but yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, we'll talk about Ain and Binz in a bit. Let's just look at the Sugo first. And on the 3rd and 10th multi, you can get the recommended character. And sadly, the rate of getting one of these new units there won't be super high. I think I've said it before, but Legend debut Kizunas are one of the worst Sugos in terms of getting bang for your buck. Basically, you have way too little chance of actually getting the units. And there's basically no guarantee, like you can get an Ain guarantee, but that's it. There's no guaranteed new unit or anything like that. 5th and 8th is a legend at least, which is pretty cool. The Kizuna Sugos on the Kizuna Legends on this Sugo are Ain, Croc and Doffy, and Sabo and Ace, so that's okay. We also have some other recent legends like We 3 Princesses, Black Maria and Ulti, Queen, Hawkins. So those are all units you want to own probably. Also a good chance to try and get some Zephyr dupes if you haven't got him level limit break maxed. He's not the kind of unit who will be on Sugos that often. And of course we have every Kizuna Rare Recruit in existence here. And yeah, nothing special about the rate boosted units. Personally, I will obviously not be pulling since I'm on an hiatus, but yeah, if there was any Sugo to pull on, it was the Trash Map one, not this. Let's start talking about the new Binz, I guess. And this Binz is a quick striker shooter. He has Enrage, which is dope. Very pan, and he got a very bad one, 60% HP above needed. Not even the standard 50, like Bandai keeps nerfing barrier pierce, and it makes no sense to me. It drives me crazy. I will complain about this in a bit with Ain as well. Let's do the support since I often forget them, but they can be put on Zephyr and Ain. If you're inflicted with Bind or the Spear, you remove it by 1 turn. Let's see what the low one is. Just the Spear, so if you do get a dupe of this guy, you probably want to keep 1 at level 1, 1 at level 5, just so you have some more options in team building. But yeah, it's great for these two to get more utility. Ain in the past, well, the Rare Recruit has been able to use White Debate to remove Bind the Spear, but obviously the new Ain is not Slasher, so you can't do that. But you can remove some more with this at least. Also, the new Zephyr can now remove up to 4 turns of Bind the Spear, so together with this, he can finally remove an actual usable amount. But Zephyr has a lot of good support he would like to fit and use. Captain Wheel is actually not that bad, 4.25 times as long as you hit perfects, and you get an HP cut at the end of every turn, so not bad, but won't see use of course. Special, delays by 1 turn, reduces damage reduction by 6 turns, reduces the spear by 6 turns, changes his slot to tandem, and if crew has 2 turns or more of increased or additional damage status, that's called, when special is launched. You lock crew slots for 1 turn and boost the type effects of normal attacks for striker and shooter characters by 2.5 times for 2 turns. Otherwise, you get a 1 turn 2 times color affinity. So yeah, this entire batch is so clearly made for using Zephyr, Ain, and Binz together. And honestly, when you use them all together, it's actually incredibly strong. Like, I wish I could pull this unit just to be able to use the entire combo. Now I'll just be able to use the Zephyr and Ain combo, but that combo alone is going to be really strong. But yeah, that additional damage status is coming from Zephyr's special mainly. He can apply it for quite a few turns, even before the 6+. You can lock the orbs, get color affinity. Ain will also be able to extend that color affinity to 3 turns. So you'll be able to get quite a lot of buffs with all them together. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Other than that, also some good utility. Like, this is a good unit overall. Not much to complain about. He even makes 2 orbs matching for 2 clauses. That's very cool. And some extra base attack. We take those. Yeah. Decent unit. Let's talk about Ain. Ain is a shooter cerebral quick unit. I will say that I really love the combo, as said, especially Ain and Zephyr together, really good and strong on paper. But outside of that combo, this is actually one of the most bland Sugos of the year. I was incredibly disappointed in the beginning. I'm just starting to warm up a bit because the actual combo works. But if you don't do the combo, this unit has very little value overall, sadly. But yeah, Ain also has a support for quick shooter. You get some free damage reduction for 2 turns final stage. Might actually see some use. That might let you survive some scenarios where there are no other options. So pretty interesting. Increased damage taken removal, barrier pan, and as said, why? Back in the day, every legend got the perfect barrier pan, can avoid it at any HP. But nowadays they make it 50%. Or sometimes, like, even worse, like you have to be about 80 or below 20, like very meme stuff. And it just sucks, because as I've said before, I don't think power creep has to happen in a game all the time. But nerfs to stuff that's been around since years makes no sense to me. Also a super tandem, we'll get to that. Like, one cool thing, like if you take this entire combo, it can do attack boost, orb boost, color affinity, burn plus conditional, increased damage taken, and super tandem. Like, that's quite a bit for just 3 units, and most of those buffs are also for 3 turns, so 2 different stages. And on top of that, we have a lot of seed reduction. Ain has it in the cap. Zephyr is even more nutty with seed reduction, so I'll talk more about that in the eventual Zephyr video. As for the captain ability, -1 CD, so Ain does help, as said. Shooter and cerebral, 5.25 times attack with matching slots, so pretty low, not going to lie. Especially for a unit who only boosts 2 claws and nothing else. She'll definitely have been a 5.5 times attack. 1.2 times HP, makes quick bomb tandem slots have matching slot effects. Ain herself has no bomb mechanics, Zephyr has a bit of that. The weird thing is that she makes bomb matching but not super bomb, especially when super bomb is part of her kit later. But Zephyr does handle that, so it's not a super big deal, just a bit weird. Slightly boost chance of landing on tandem orbs, which is a nice bonus but not really reliable enough to be a big deal. And if you tap with this character with a bomb, super bomb or tandem slot, you will also add a minuscule 10% shooter resistance. And that's really minuscule, like that's nothing to talk about even. So captain ability, incredibly unremarkable. Probably one of the worst captain abilities of the year. I think it might even be the worst, honestly. But there's more to the kit, of course. Special. Reduce Death Up by 6 turns, reduce Bind by 6 turns, applies Ignited to all enemies for 2 turns, that's burn. Boost Shooter and Cerebral characters' slot effects by 2.75 times for 2 turns, so that's a really strong orb boost. Reduces damage taken by 60% for 3 turns, should have been higher in my opinion. And if you have 2 turns or more of additional damage taken, that is Zephyr. When special is launched, you also applies increased damage taken status to all enemies by 2.25 times for 1 turn. So as you see, this combo with Zephyr is really cool. Like, you have the attack boost from Zephyr, which we'll get to that in a bit. And we have an orb boost from Ain, both will be 3 turns after the super type. And if you use Zephyr special first, you will also be able to apply the increased damage taken. And then we have the burn, which Ain will be able to make into a conditional with the super type as well. We'll get to that. The main weakness here, I'd say, is first utility. Like, the utility is not bad, but I'd say the utility from the rare recruit is better than the legend, which is insane to me, but that's the case. We do have a very big orb boost though, which is very cool, not going to lie about that, especially since you can make it 3 turns with the super type. But a big weakness, of course, is that sure, you can get ignited, you can get increased damage taken, but if the enemy has full immunity, it's worthless. And I'm not saying it should have had full immunity, it's hard to say it should have had that, but fact is that that basically is what makes this unit weak rather than being a really strong unit. Like, since this is a shooter focused unit, I don't think it would have been broken at all for at least one of these to go through full immunity, but that's my opinion. Talked a bit about the super type, but here it is. You need 6 shooters, or you need to get additional damage taken from Zephyr. Like, if you're using Ain, you're using Zephyr with her. It's just how it is. You change Ain's slot to tandem. You extend the duration of orb boost and call affinity by 1 turn. You buff the attack boost by plus 0.25 and changes quick characters to super quick. So yeah, she buffs the attack boost from Zephyr, which will be pretty high after the 6+. I don't remember it in my head right now. But her own orb boost becomes 3 turns, which is really good. And if you do this combo with Binz, as said, his 2-turn call affinity can become 3 turns. So you just have 3 turns of very high attack, orb, and call affinity. Super cool. And of course, the super type gives you the tandem orb, which also opens up for the super tandem. And that's also one of the strongest parts of this unit, since this is a 2-unit super tandem, which is the by far best type of super tandem. And at level 1, you do need 2 specific ones, but you get an okay 1.5 times tandem, so it's workable. And then you need 4 to get the real one, but level 5 to get the highest damage. And with the level 5 super tandem, you get a 2 times burn conditional to go alongside Ain's burn with her special. And Shooter and Cerebral gets a 2.25 tandem attack boost. But yeah, this really rounds out the kit, because not as strong I think Ain is. Like, if you do run the optimal team with especially Zephyr, and the enemy doesn't have the full immunity, like, you can get the big attack boost, the big orb boost for several turns, you can get the burn condition, you can get the increased damage taken, you can get the super tandem. Like, we're getting a ton of damage from just 2 units, and that is super cool. But I really struggle to see Ain being good in any other scenario, and let's face it, only being good in one particular combo doesn't make a unit that great. So still a letdown overall, but doing Zephyr and Ain teams will be super fun. As for the PvP stuff, it actually looks like she might be viable. She doesn't have any GP stats. Her rumble ability is HP up 5 to shooters, speed up level 5, crit up level 5, and if you have 3 or more shooters, which you should have, shooters get death up level 4. So yeah, that's great. Only thing that could have been better is replacing the crit for attack, but yeah, this is basically as good as it gets for a rumble ability, so great start. Special, biggest weakness, does no damage at all. I don't think it's a deal breaker though, but shooter is already a bit passive, like Chopper also doesn't do anything. And I'd say that even with Ain, you should probably still use Chopper, so you have two very passive units on the team. But yeah, you target shooter class teammates for attack up level 5 for 20 seconds. And you also target 3 high HP enemies for 100% chance of half stats. So the pro here is pretty low CT, guaranteed half stats for more than half the opponent's team. Bad thing, just 15 seconds, so not the most reliable. But still, half stats is still really good, even if it's getting more and more resisted. So in a year from now, it might not be good, but right now it's still pretty good. But I don't see shooter like beating the best teams because of it, but might be even better on defense at least. But yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know if you're excited for this Kizuna. Will you try and pull for Ain? Or will you try and go without pulling like I'm doing right now? Let me know. See? Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.